Welcome to another weekend here on the platform. My name is Sam Omatseye. I have with me here a special guest, General Alabi-Isama, the author of a well-known bestseller now in Nigeria, The Tragedy of Victory, Story on the Civil War, from the point of view of the famous 3rd Marine Commando. He has also since been engaging Nigeria both in the political and military fronts. General, you're welcome to this show.
Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to be on TVC.
Yeah, thank you. Well, we have had election, it has come and gone. What's your assessment of what happened?
The people have spoken. And it doesn't matter what we think or what I think. When the people have spoken, we will have to say that is what they want. If that's what the people want, even if you cut his finger, you ask for it. It has come and gone, and I congratulate all Nigerians for making their choice. I congratulate all the winners, even the losers. Somebody had to win, somebody had to lose. But when it comes to governance, we're all talking about Nigeria. Somebody will say, let us start from the right. The other one said, no, I will start from the left. We're all talking about Nigeria, about our own people. And the most important aspect of this is that the government must be talking about security and be talking about the welfare of our people. That is the mainstay of governance.
Nigeria at this time, in terms of security, and before the Civil War, you were in Nigeria. How would you compare, given what we have been going through, especially in the past, say, 4 or 5 years with security?
Things have changed. And what is it that has changed? It's values. It's values. And we have now entrenched what is called a feudal system, where only the elites survive, only where the elites do well, and just about 5% of them in the country, and the 95% others were just being milked. Now, in the issue of security, it is important for everybody to know that even the elites are not safe if the 95 others are not safe. The whole world now is talking about Nigeria as one of those countries that have been traumatized. They've been talking about Nigeria as a poor country, the capital of the poor world. Now, if you look back before independence and at independence and the Civil War, we never had an IDP camp, our internally displaced people's camp. We didn't have that. Today you have that. So
you only had that during the Civil War.
During the Civil War.
Yes.
During the Civil War.
Yes.
Not before.
Not
you
before.
said before.
Yes, yes.
Okay, the question was before.
Yes, I just want to.
And even Marine Commando did not have IDP camp.
Yeah.
We did not. In Marine Commando, we told everybody to go home. You cannot be a refugee in your own country. You go home and we'll come and look after you there, and we did. In fact, that was how the war ended. The war did not end because we were killing the Biafrans, no. The war ended with Marine Commando because we showed them that this is Nigeria, it is our country, we prove it to them. All those captured were put back. From every 12 there will be a Judas. Some of them did not agree, we told them to go home. And many left. And those who stayed had a good time with us. We fed them, we clothed them, and that in itself is good enough for security. Now, coming back to what we have now, you will create insecurity when you start having an IDP camp, that is a feudal system where some people will just sit down from morning till night, the food will be brought to them, they will sleep, they will have children, and everything is there done for them. That is a feudal system. And if we continue like that, you will not see the end of this war. So you have to create a situation for success. How do you do that? Number one, in this case, I would like to really commend the effort of military people and the police in particular, who have been bearing the brunt of all these problems. Many of them have been killed. You were shot at by somebody who didn't know you, and they couldn't even call your name, did not know where you come from.
Yeah.
And it was not whether Igbo, Yoruba, or Hausa, they just went there and killed people. Now, the armed forces have tried. But if you look at it this way, that the people there are Nigerians. And Nigerians always say, oh, the Iraq war went on for over 10 years, Syria, and we are not Syria, we are not Iraq. Syria and Iraq is because foreign countries are involved. We are talking of our own people who are Nigerians. The first thing to do is to let us in our psyche know that these are our own people. And we must treat them as Nigerians first. When you capture them and they're in your guard room or prison, you want to ask them, what is their pain? Why are they fighting? What is it that they want? If you put them together like I did in the case of my Tessine, you will see they themselves will come up with what their problems are. They will come up with the suggestions and the solutions. But when you have an IDP camp, eating free, drinking free, sleeping free, those supplying those rice will not want this thing to end.
We love the IDPs as they are.
Yes. There is a lot of money going around in that area. And those who are benefiting will not let it stop. As a matter of fact, it's possible that they can even start it if they see that it's about to stop. It's like slave trade. You don't want your source of profit to dwindle. And they will engineer it and put more fire so that...
That's why they fought for slave. Those people benefited from slave trade.
That's right.
Did not want it to end.
Of course.
And slavery.
Of course.
The US fought a war over it.
That's right. Yeah. You see, economists call it Cobra effect.
Yeah.
You want something to stop happening, but for one reason or the other, it multiplies.
It's a battle between morality and money.
And that exactly is what it is. Because in the army, we call it friction.
Yes.
This is what I want, and this is what you get.
Yes.
You see?
It's a very terrible thing. Now, people have extended this argument to the fight against insurgency. When it was paramount in the Niger Delta, the argument was that it became protracted because some forces in government were colluding with some forces in the military and even with the militants to ensure that the crisis continued. And it was even said that the person in charge will have to induce some of the militants to blow up a pipe or to create a crisis so that they could engineer the funding for their work there.
Yes.
And then they will say, okay, we have now settled it, there's silence now because everybody has been paid. Then they will wait for the next round of action. So that cynical view is now being bandied about the North. And that there are some soldiers and there are some people in the military working with the government to make sure that even Boko Haram does not come to an end, because some people are going to be out of action, just to put it in that expression, once the crisis comes to an end.
I must say it here again. No country in the modern times has fought a war for 10 years. The one we heard about, people had to eliminate progressives. And it's one country and another country involved with the natives. But in our own case, these are our own children, our own parents, our own people. In the case of the Boko Haram, has anybody told us why are they fighting? Some people will say it was because they killed their former leader called Yusuf. Fine. We were very wrong, and I will use that word strongly here. Because if people like Mandela had been killed, there wouldn't have been peace in South Africa. If people like Jomo Kenyatta had been killed, there wouldn't have been peace in Kenya. They were put in jail. When they realized they were losing, they brought Jomo Kenyatta out at Mamao, and he became the president, reorganized the place, put people together. Today, Kenya is surviving and doing very well. Doing very, very well. I know that.
Yeah.
Now, in the case of South Africa, if they had killed Mandela, who were they going to negotiate with when they realized they were losing the war? Now, we just like this killing and killing idea. In my Tesine, when I was in charge of my Tesine, what I did was to tell General Danjuma and say, look, let me go there and sort this thing out. He said, but the commander is there. I said, this is not issue of commander there. We must nip evil in the bud. It will be cheaper, it will be better than confronting evil. It will be more expensive in men and material. And
you didn't give us background to Omatseye because
That's
some of our audience may not know
well,
what it was.
The Omatseye issue was, it's the same thing like Boko Haram. It's the same in the northeast,
Yes.
but except that they spread up to northwest.
Yeah.
But when we asked them, what was your pain? They said, oh, these Fulani people, they will want to lord themselves over us. We are Kanuris. We are not this and that. And okay, if you are not this and that, but you are killing your own people, your own Muslims, your own natives of that. Say yes, those are the people that collaborated with them, and those are the people they were fighting. Okay, what happens if we stop this? If we stop that? They even gave the suggestions of what we should do. Within 2 weeks, it was over. And the same thing can happen here. First, you must take the civilians that are there into your hands and make sure that they know that you are with them. You don't just go into a town and start killing people because we suspect they are Boko Haram. Boko Haram is an offshoot of the Almajiris. People are now questioning. When I was young in Ilorin, you had Bale, one elder, who is a rich person and feeds everybody. But people have been to school now. Things have changed. People must go to school. Then they realized that the children of all these elites were going to school, not even in Nigeria, but abroad.
But he was feeding all of them.
That he was
as
feeding.
if he was a kind man.
That's
but
right.
He was only kind to his family.
That's the point.
He was keeping the others poor.
Because the Quran told you to be kind to people, love thy neighbor as thyself, so you were feeding them. But they started, wait a minute, his son has come back, his son is now the governor, his son is now the leader in the neighborhood. He was my friend at school. I was better than this boy in the primary school.
Yeah.
They didn't let me continue. I was better than this boy in the Quranic school. They didn't let me continue. He came back from abroad and he's now my boss. How can he be my boss? That's where the first fight will start.
So that means he was feeding us to be poor.
That is the point that we are now making, that is Fielder's system. It happened around the world at a time. In 1625, Oliver Cromwell faced the King of England, Charles I. And Charles had the army. And Oliver Cromwell, they were members of parliament, they got together. You cannot win unless the people are on your side. I think I need to repeat this point. Get the people to your side, let them know what you are doing and what you are trying to do and why you are doing that. Oliver Cromwell fought Charles I, who had the army, who had the money to pay the army, and Oliver Cromwell and his team won 1625, and they tried the king in 1649. They found him guilty and cut off his head. They don't want to be king. You want to be king, these are the terms and conditions. You are king and we are members of parliament. We are not beggars. Feudal system is a beggar system. And all the governors in the country seem to like it because it's a matter of going to Abuja, you collect. Can you imagine Sardauna, Awolowo and Zik going to Abuja or somewhere to collect some stipends and they call it your allocation. They call it your allocation. That would be ridiculous. Who does a thing like that? You know, so you need to have a state police. You need to get, they took those children from Dapchi. There was no roadblock. From Ilorin to Lagos, you will find 22 roadblocks. From Enugu to Port Harcourt, you will find 30 roadblocks. But in Dapchi, there was no roadblock, there was no checkpoint, and they just drove the children away and drove them back. And that's an insult on the military. Another insult on the military was the one in which the Air Force went and bombed the IDP camp. That was, you anywhere in the world, I mean, you are becoming like Obasanjo bombing his own people in Odi and in Zaki Biam. No, you don't do those things. Because the IDP camps are already marked on your map. Their coordinates are on your map. If you were given an information about a fighting somewhere and you had to go there, you will see it first of all from your map. This coordinate is on my map and that's IDP camp. You find out. So you need more intelligence. And who will give you the intelligence? The people. The people that are your own people. And the security.
So what that means that we are just wasting our time, because it looks like from the way some of us are looking at it, that there has not been a clear strategy. No clear strategy in the banditry in Zamfara. No clear strategy in the situation in southern Kaduna, where the governor also bandits figures. Even for the rich, there is no strategy other than ask everybody to get on the train, almost as if we're escaping, rather than confronting the problem. So get on the train so that those people won't hit you. So it's a way of trying to say, if you can afford it, you are safe. If you are poor, go on the road. Because the train, I think they've increased the charge.
They've increased it to about 3,000 something. Yes. How many people can afford 3,000 just to go to Abuja and they'll get there, they can't find what they're looking for?
Yes.
If there is no deterrence, I'm telling you, you will continue to find it this way and it will even continue to be worse. Whether it is in Zamfara, well, every time there was an inquiry, we condemn this on its own entirety and all that, forget the nonsense. If you fail to put in a deterrent, you must try them immediately. Those who are not guilty must go immediately. Those who are guilty must be dealt with according to the law immediately. You must deter that situation. It must not happen again. And if it happens again, this is what will happen. Everybody will know. We know that there has been inquiries. We know they have paraded the people. Now, what is we've never heard of any result ever since. We are talking of 10 years. We are talking of 10 years. 10 years of a war. This, if we continue like this, it will go for another 10 years. This country will be broke completely. We're already borrowing $24 billion. What are you talking about? We're broke already. But, hey, I'll be 80 next year. So I probably will escape it. But my children are there. I have grandchildren, I have great-grandchildren who will be paying these bills. And we are amassing wealth now and taking the money, not even amassing the wealth and keeping the money in the country for people to have money to borrow. We are amassing wealth, collecting the money and saving them abroad. We have heard of Fonseca, Gonzi, Jersey, Switzerland. I mean, we're saving, taking the money out of the country because people believe that the country will collapse and they will be better. God has never done it that way. It's never happened that way.
The president continues from time to time to summon his service chiefs for meeting. He summons them for meetings. The situation remains the same.
No, you don't need meetings. You don't need meetings. What you need is a specific order.
He has said, I've given you orders, and they have done nothing.
Capture the entire Nigerian space. Whoever is a foreigner has attacked our country cannot go unpunished. I told you there was a time I went into, I traveled from Kaduna to Abuja in that train. So we were like about 50, but on our way back we were more. Whoever wrote the feasibility study must have had a reason. I would have put that train, if we want it in the north, put the train in Lokoja. All vehicles coming from the south and everywhere will stop in Lokoja. You open up the heartland of the country for its development. You don't just set up an inquiry there, an instruction there, and a meeting there. What meeting? You must first of all capture the entire space of Nigeria. The armed forces must be told to do that, and it will not take them more than 30 days. Within that 30 days, the Sambisa Forest and whatever. Sambisa Forest was my headquarters during Tesine.
So what do you think is the prognosis now for Nigeria, given all you have said?
When we were young, we were told to go to school. We were encouraged to be farmers. There is a Yoruba song about that. You know, and all that. Yeah. Okay. We moved from there on into manufacturing. Oh, everybody should now have a factory. We forgot the hoe and cutlass. We even forgot that the factory will need NEPA. And so the factories did not take off. The cost of maintaining those factories, the cost of running those factories, another problem. Then we now move to knowledge economy. Everybody went to school. You're talking, are you saying Mark Zuckerberg had a farm somewhere? You know, or Bill Gates had a farm somewhere? Now, we moved on to knowledge economy. Nigeria was not found there. Because of this feudal system. Who is afraid of restructuring Nigeria? What is a fair? Whether he likes it or not, he is not going to live forever. He's going to leave this place for his children and grandchildren. Now we move from there again, and then we say, today, it is not only knowledge economy. We're talking about experience. We're talking about what is it? Imagination. Whoever is going to be the richest person in the world next time will be thinking about, how do I have blood? How do I make blood without taking blood from human beings? Because look at all the Nigerians that you say are the richest people around the world and around Nigeria. What was the intellectual property? Nothing. They're contractors. And that's all. Look, we have a long way to go. All the schools in this country must know that we should stop all this grammar school and have technical school. When we can't even make toothpick without importing the machine from somewhere. Sam, we have a long way to go. God bless my country.
Thank you very much. You've had Alabi-Isama on this show. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome.
It is a pleasure being on TVC anytime.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for watching the program today. You can catch up with my published column on www.samomatseye.com. Also follow me on Twitter. My handle is @SamOmatseye. Until next time, be good.